Let's bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Lord, we stand before you in humble prayer before we start this program. We realize that without your blessings, we would not be able to succeed with the plans we have for this activity. Bestow your grace and divine wisdom to all of us present here, so we could cooperate and enjoy camaraderie and love for the greater glory of your name. Bless also those we have left behind our homes. May you grant them peace and happiness as they go about their activities. Bless people around the globe that they may enjoy peace and the goodness of your love. We ask all these through your mighty name. Amen.
Pleasant good morning to all those who tune in on another episode of The Wrap. I want to say thank you for being here this morning, guys. So as you tune in, please share the program, please share the live as we discussed this morning. We have a few things that we want to touch on, and more so some very important information that I need to bring to you, especially on the Morudi mountain issue, of which we would want to bring clarity to the general public, because I know there's a lot of misinformation that is being peddled out there. We need to have that clarified so persons can understand what is actually the real situation there on the ground. So good morning to Babita Sims, good morning to Bart Prasad, and all who are tuning in. And guys, as you tune in, I would ask you to share the live. So before we go to the feature discussion here this morning, I want to take this opportunity, excuse me, on behalf of the public servants of Guyana to say thank you to His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali for the recent announcement of salary increases. And as I speak here, I would also want to feel that joy of helping to share some of the sentiments of persons from different sector. And more so, I will just touch two sectors for this morning because of the time frame. We have from the disciplinary forces and also from teachers itself. Also, I must speak in sentiment of the pensioners also who will be benefiting from the $25,000 one-off cash grant. So, guys, tune in, share the live, and let us go into discussion. But let me just share some of the sentiments of the disciplinary forces as well.
On behalf of myself and family, I want to thank His Excellency for this gesture in relation to the $25,000.
For the announcement that was made this morning with the $25,000, I am very grateful for it. It would help a lot during the Christmas season. Thank you very much again, Mr. President.
On behalf of the Guyana Police Force, I would like to send special thanks to His Excellency himself. We are very grateful and for the one-off 25,000 bonus for the month of December, and it will go a long way for the Christmas season, for we have an increase of kids in our families, as we all know. So yes, we are very grateful for the 25,000 once again. Thank you.
The announcement that he made this morning, the President, His Excellency President Ali made this morning, is one that we were awaiting a while now, and we're happy that you finally made the announcement. I was very much elated to listen to him this morning, and as we all know, the cost of living would have gone up, and teachers, I believe, they need that kind of bonus, the kind of increase that we're going to be getting, because I think in terms of the salary scale, we're now placed on the maximum scale.
Teachers will receive an education allowance of $10,000 monthly for holders of a bachelor's degree. This allowance would be equivalent to $120,000 annually. $20,000 monthly for a master's degree. This is an additional $200,000 annually, $240,000, annually for teachers holding a master's degree, and $30,000 monthly for a doctorate degree, which is equivalent to $360,000 annually. That is additional allowances. These revisions in allowances will benefit over 4,500 teachers.
So, on behalf of the general public and also of the public servants, I want to extend much thank you to His Excellency and his team, the government of Guyana, for the continuous support to our people in reaching out to our people and the needs of our people. So, guys, I know out there we must find persons who have their own views and opinion as it relates to that. But nevertheless, we can't do anything about it. I mean, Jesus come to the earth and could not have pleased everybody. So we don't expect to have 100% positive response from the general public, especially dealing with persons who haven't. For a matter of fact, let me say this: most of the persons out there who are coming up with these kind of allegations and all kind of rhetorics as it relates to the salary increases, most of these persons are not even in a job, and they're not. Is that they're not in a job because they can't find a job? It's because they don't want to work. You understand? And then they're there, sit back, and they are criticizing. It's better than nothing. And I once more want to say thank you to His Excellency for such initiative. So, guys, on the featured discussion this morning, also I have a guest with me, who I will bring on screen in a few seconds, um, as we discuss into the details of the Marudi Mountain issue. Now, there's a lot of misinformation that's being peddled out there as it relates to the situation in the Marudi Mountain, where the government of Guyana is being bashed for this. I must say to you, this is something not this is not new. This is something that's been going on for a while, um, and I wouldn't sit here to say that the government will intervene in this. What the government did, persons within the Rupununi express their interest in mining, and this is for the purposes of their own livelihood. Persons need a job, people have their family to sustain. And what I'm more so shocked about this is that most of the miners in there in the Murray Mountain are women, and that is so catchy for me, because you know why? We see the women out there are going out there to get their needs. They're not sitting around and waiting on anybody to give it to them. And I guess because that is one of the factor, I guess that is the reason why what is happening in Marudi Mountain is happening, because we know when you have a leadership which is a man most of the time, um, they want to dominate, and these women are being trampled on and taken advantage on. And this is something that's been going on for a while. Like again, I said, the government has nothing to do with this. The government give the go ahead for those persons to have the opportunity to work, where they would have formed the RMA, the Rukununis Miners Association, and they went out there to work. However, those persons would have entrusted an individual by voting him in the position for chairman to help to manage the association. But instead of him working for the interests of the people, of the small miners, more so he is of himself. And added to that, he went ahead and breached in all corners, where he started to infest the area with Brazilian miners, which is totally against what was agreed on by the government of Guyana and also the miners, the Rukununis Miners Association. But this man, for some reason, he feel as though that because he is the chair of the association, he feel that he has the sole authority to do whatever he wants within that mining area. I speak of this because actually I was on the ground and I got all the information that I needed. And I also have evidence. I have videos. Those videos will be uploaded for you to see as well. I guess some of these might be considered old videos because it's what incident that took place before, but it was in this year. So we want person to understand what is going on in there. And one of the saddest thing is that when these miners speak out against the dictatorship and the bullyism of the chairman of the association, he tends to try to shut them up, put them out, deprive them from having access to their stuff. The stuff meaning the rocks that they would use to crush to have their productions, and all manner of dictatorship attitude in that area and taking advantage of the people. I think the time is reached now where the people had enough of it. The people are speaking out. And even of recent, I want you to know some instructions were given directly to him to have those Brazilians removed with immediate effect from that area. I have persons that will call in a few minutes who can give you more details, but I can only give you based on what I observe on the ground and what is being said to me. Right? So, guys, I would ask you to share the live as you come in, share the program as you come in, because we want persons to understand that the government of Guyana has nothing to do with this. And before it even got worse, we would want to highlight this and bring clarity to the general public. We know under the previous administration that was happening. You understand? And nothing was being done about it. But I will not sit here today and try to accept the continuous dictatorship and bullyism by that chairman of that association because I am speaking in the best interest of the people. I'm speaking on behalf of the people, which is the small miners of the Rupununi Association. So, guys, without any further delay, I would like to bring this young woman on screen, and she is also the secretary of the Rupununi's Miners Association, who will share with you her experience and her challenges. Please bear with us a bit because the internet in the Latin era is not so well. You might see a bit of sticking and so on, but just listen to the message and you will get a clarity on what is going on. So,
and
good morning to
try
you,
to accept
Kathleen, and thank
the
you for tuning in.
continuous dictatorship and bullyism by that chairman of that association because I am speaking in the best interest of the people. I'm speaking on behalf of the people, which is the small miners of the Rupununi Association. So, guys, without any further delay, I would like to bring this young woman on screen, and she is also the secretary of the Rupununi's Miners Association. Please bear with us a bit because the internet in the Latin era is not so well. You might see a bit of sticking and so on, but just listen to the message and you will get a clarity on what is going on. So, good to you, Kathleen.
So I'm here this morning to talk about the problems we are having in the Marudi back dam. First of all, we have given Mr. Dalip, who's the chairman, a second chance on the 2nd of May. And from there on, we as the executive body, we never sit down and
All right, guys. I think we having a bit of interruption by the internet there, so I will have to have the secretary to call in directly because it's delaying a bit. So please bear with me a bit. Let me just have her to let me just have her call in, and we will have more details in this. So just hold a bit for me.
Hello.
Hi, Miss. Hi, Ketley. So, I see you having a you having a bit of challenge there with the internet, right? So, what I will
Yes,
do,
yes.
I would let you just. I prefer you speak directly on call and share with me. Before moving forward, I just want to have persons. Are persons hearing the call up? If you're hearing, just give me a yes. If you're hearing her clear. I just want to make sure that persons are hearing. All right, we have Babita Sim saying yes. We have Miss Virginia Khan, you hearing? Tara Sobrang, are you hearing the caller? All right, so persons,
Hello.
yeah, so persons are saying yes, they're hearing you. So, good morning again to you, Kathleen. And could you just identify yourself to the listeners, who you are, what is your position, and then we can go into discussion.
My name is Kathleen Williams. I'm Secretary of the Rupununi Miners Association for the Morudi mining area.
Okay. So, Kathleen, based on what I would have observed, last week Sunday, I was in there based on request by miners to observe what is happening on the ground because persons are saying that there's a lot of challenges they're facing in there and it's going unheard. Um, I would want to have you as the secretary to share some of those challenges in details, what is going on. But first and foremost, I want to ask you this here. Is, in your view, as an executive, as a sitting executive of the Rupununi Miners Association, in your view, is the Rupununi Miners Association active or non-active?
They are non-active.
They're non-active.
They're non-active because we, as I can say, as an executive body, we never had since this election. We never had a meeting, sit together to discuss what is going on in Morudi or what is the plan forward. So that is what is going on right now. The only person that know what is going on right now is Mr. Dalip, which is the chairman. He, as I say, he is doing everything on his own. He's not sitting with his members. He's not telling his members anything what is going on. He's just doing everything on his own.
So you're technically saying it's now we that the election was on the 2nd of May. Is that correct, right?
Yes.
It was on the 2nd of May in this year, which is 2023. So we're talking about May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So technically, we're saying it's 6 months since you had an election and there were no executive meetings being held or
No
any.
exactly, no executive meeting.
So as a
None
secretary,
of the executive members don't know what is going on in there.
okay. So I want to get some stuff clear, because these are some of the things that's been said to me, and I wanted to know if this is accurate. First and foremost, there were some agreements that the Rupununi's Miners Association had within the surrounding villages like Aishalton and the other villages, where some projects and so on were to be done. Have the association delivered so far to these promises?
The association haven't
Excuse
delivered
me.
anything. They promised, as I told you before, they promised to do the road, they promised to fix the bridges that the people damage, to put on gates, to fix the office, to let the villagers know what is going on in the Murudi Back Dam. So far, nothing was complete. They are just making promises and promises all the time.
And let me ask you something. I was told also there were some I think it was royalties that's supposed to be collected from the miners, a 10% royalty, right? Is that true?
Yes, a 10% is collect and hand over to GGMC.
Okay. So in your view, is that part being delivered?
Yes, that is being delivered.
Okay. Well,
That's the only
well, I
part
guess he's not
that
gonna.
is being delivered.
I guess he's not gonna make mistakes with that, because GGMC probably might shut the operations down. But on the other part, I personally I find it unfair, because there was a lot of challenges, especially in the Aishalton village, where they were trying to put up a resistance. Excuse me, right? In having that area being open to mining, because persons will have to travel through the villages and all these things, and the roads
Yes.
and so on. And in my view, I think it is unfair that these people would have allow it to happen, and then the association are not delivering. But I want to ask you this: why is it, in your view, personally, why is it in your view that these villages or these projects are not being met? Why is it that the association is not delivering based on promises?
Well, he promised the RMA to put down a crusher so we can be able to crush some load and get some money. The RMA don't have any money at the moment because of the chairman.
Okay.
Yeah, he is the contractor, and he is also own his own crusher. So every time that's one of the reasons, I was behind them trying to say, we need to have a executive body, we need to follow up with these things, and we just can't be promising these villages these things, and we are not complying with whatever we promise. So we need to have a discussion and talk about it, and go ahead and make. But Mr. Dalip he's always busy. He always have bills to pay, nobody else. And I think he's just using the miners to get what he want.
Okay.
He don't care about anybody else.
Well, I also in the discussions there Sunday, I heard persons mention this. They said that well, I also saw it on the ground. I have photographs of that, where there were Brazilian miners in there. Well, I thought they were also legally in place, but then I was told after that there was instructions being given directly from the government of Guyana, where no Brazilians are, or no one except of the Rupununi miners should have been in there. So when I went around, I asked questions, and when I asked questions, some of the things they said to me that, it's Guyanese, that the Brazilians are investing through the Guyanese and so on. All right, I try to understand. I try to put bits and pieces together, but then I went further down within that area. I went further down in that area, and I saw there was an entire section. There was an entire section where the Brazilians were in operations, and I saw they were big setup. I saw they were big setup in there and so on. So I wanted to know, um, if these Brazilians are invested through the Guyanese, why is it that they are only in a specific area? I don't know why this person is trying to call in and blocking this call. But Kathleen, you hear me, right?
I'm hearing you.
Yes. So I try to figure out why the Brazilians have an entire area by themselves, right? And it's an entire big operation that is set up there, right? And then when I went on the ground and I met with other persons, now I would have heard that, or people would have said to me then, that the Brazilians are having full access and having stuff. They said the stuff, the rocks that they use to crush to get the production, the Brazilians are having stuff in a timely manner and even more that they can handle. But the small miners and the real Rupununi miners are not having access to stuff so that they can have a production. Is that true?
That is true. As I say, the miners are only having 1 or 2 load every 2 weeks. They claim to say that the overburden that the Brazilians is fetching to crush, that they don't really have gold. They're just trying to clear off the overburden. But the overburden, they are crushing day and night, 24 hours, and they are paying their workers $250,000, I heard, every 10 days.
Excuse me.
The Brazilians wanted a bigger spot, so Mr. Dalip, the chairman, allowed them to clear the spot where they want, so then they can be able to have a bigger spot. And then he's still collecting $300,000 from these people for a crusher spot. So all these money are going into Mr. Dalip's pocket.
Okay.
On phase one, everyone had to pay $300,000 for a spot, for a crusher spot.
What?
The Brazilians are there. Yes, Brazilians are there because of Mr. Dalip. He allowed them in there. He's not sitting with us. He's not telling us what is going on. We just seen the Brazilians going in and out and doing as they like.
So let me get something clear. In my view, if you have an association, right? And I've worked with association, I've chaired associations before, I've chaired groups, and it's one standard procedure, or every organization or association falls under the 8801, which is a draft of the national constitution. And in my view, there is one, it's only one way that this association operates. Based on what you're saying here to me, and based on what has been said on the grog as well, it seems as though that this association is a one-man show. What I know personally, it's a reason why an executive body were being elected. No one person in association, no chairman, has the authority to make decision of his or her own. It has to be a collective decision, at least by the majority and through a democratic process, if so, right? So now you're saying to me is as if we have an executive body, but that was just to put Mr. Dalip there, and then to hell with everybody else. He makes all the decisions. So that is what is happening.
Exactly. That is why when the first election, he and the executive members before us had the same problem, because he wanted to do his own thing and they're not standing up to doing the wrong things. So that's why he had a problem. We gave him a second chance. This is the same thing. I'm not going to stand to see Mr. Dalip doing the wrong thing and just sit back and relax. No, this needs to stop now.
Well, I heard you mention about the spot. That was also something that was said to me. I have that in details here, where the chairman of the association is demanding 300,000. He's telling persons that they have to pay for spots, and they have to pay
300,000 for their spots. Yes,
$300,000 for a spot. So let me ask you something. Okay, if he's taking $300,000 for spots, roughly on my calculations, there it's roughly about 30% that are in operation there right now, right? This person are calling and bouncing the call. I can't take the call. Yes, so it's roughly about 30 spots right now on the ground there that are in operation, right?
Yes.
So now I want to ask, is there a financial report that has ever been read to you guys to know where those $300,000 has went?
Never. As I said, we don't know what is going on. The executive body don't know what is going on. Only Mr. Dalip know everything. We never had any report. We never had anything to say where this money is going.
So who agreed?
All we are hearing that Mr. Dalip said he went in his pocket to clear the land and he have to get back his money. And that's all. He always have bills.
But
nobody else has bill.
But he's saying that he has to go back into his pocket to get monies, right? To get back his monies to invest. Based on what I was told, and this was said to me as well, is that he was the one who said to the government that he has equipment and all these things, and he's going to invest in clearing up the lands and so on for persons to work. So why is it now?
That's true.
Why is it now that he is charging persons $300,000 for spot?
That's why the people are speaking out. And when they ask, they want, if we are paying $300,000 for a spot, then this is our land. We entitled. Some person was asking, well, then we need the title for the land because we paid for it.
I'm so happy that you're bringing some clarity to this because yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
He also, as a contractor, he also have his crusher that is crushing load. 10, 15 load, sometimes 20 load, he alone crushing, getting off the mountain. He don't have to pay a cent. He's not paying the RMA anything, a percentage for each load that he's crushing. But all the small miners have to pay the 10%.
Wow.
So he's getting the load free off the mountain, crushing the load, and then still taking money from these small miners for the land.
Wow. I will guarantee you that this wouldn't go on deaf ears. I can guarantee you that the authorities is looking at this presently.
And then when the people try to speak out, he tried to victimize them. He tried to, stifle them a little, not to give them any load, or try to talk them down. So the people are afraid, but they get so tired now, this, as I say, this need to stop. So the only reason maybe he's not talking to me as a secretary. The only reason maybe he's not trying to victimize because I don't have a crusher there, but I'm going to stand there for the people.
Exactly. So let me ask you something personally as the secretary. What changes would you like to see within that association as the secretary? What would you?
I would like to see that Mr. Dalip stand down from his position as chairman and to form an interim body as soon as possible.
I agree.
We can get this stuff sorted out.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100% because that is full dictatorship. Now, I don't know if you're using your phone and you can't see this video that I'm going to show. You have access to another phone that you can go live, that you can go and watch this live. I want to put up a video and I want to ask you about this video. I understand this happened sometime earlier this year. But anyway, let me run the video and I will tell you what happened. So let me run this video for the public and then they can share their views on it and then I will ask you some questions on it.
Don't talk to the fucking me. Don't talk to the me, man. Don't talk to the fucking me. What you doing? Don't talk to the fucking God. Don't talk to me, boy. Everybody. You know what that? That's everybody.
The video that I've shown there, this video was sent to me by for a matter of fact, 3 times this video came to my phone from 3 different miners in the area. I was told that a young man who actually, they call him a bad man, he works bad man, they do their own fine hustle and so on, because they're not getting stuff in a timely manner and so on. I heard that this young man, Dalip instructed his securities or whoever is it, or his watchdogs, um, to beat this man up. The video showed that this man is being assaulted, his face being smashed down in the ground, and I saw a guy punching him. 2 of them sit on his back, and then I was told also that added to that, he was taken down from the mountain and he was placed in a container and locked up in the hot sun. I was also told that one of the miners, the female miners, had to go and create a scene for Mr. Dalip to take that young man out of the container because he could have died. The sun was hot, and to locking him in a container was very cruel. You have any knowledge of that?
This is one of the bagman.
And who's the bagman? Why you call him the bagman? Who's this person?
He's the persons. There's a few of them.
Okay.
They go on the mountain. They chip the rocks or get the rocks and try to come down and pound the rocks to find the goal. To be able to have something to eat when the day come. He promised these bagmen that he will give them load. And until today, there were no load given to the bagman. So we have the bagman, them, they have to survive, You just can't sit there. Everybody have to live. So the guy went up there on the mountain. Where he was working, apparently the excavator was there digging and so on. They told him not to go there, but he went back there again, and they caught him the day and they beat him up, and then they tie up his foot and his hand and they take him down into the container to Mr. Dalip yard, and they locked him in the container. They beat him so bad, and then they take him and lock him in there in the hot sun.
Wow.
Yes. So another female miner was passing by, and she went to say, no, you have to release him because he can die in there. The sun is hot. You don't know what can happen in that container. And that's how they decide to release him, but they still had him tied up.
Wow.
Outside the container until the afternoon.
Wow. So, I want the public to understand this level of inhumane act by by the chairman. I don't know how long this happened, but I think that some justice needs to be made out to this young man, because despite what they told him not to go back there or whatever, like you said, he went for means of survival because they're not giving them stuff.
Exactly.
And he went to get his stuff to come down and work. And they beat up the guy and throw him in a container and tie him up. No. That is way out of hand now. And I think that I personally will be picking up this matter and to have some justice. I also have other videos. I have a video here with an excavator digging up stuff. Apparently, the stuff was taken to the young man or to the miner. Right? The stuff was taken to the miner, and then they went with the excavator and the truck and removed back the guy's stuff. You know anything about that?
Yes. Apparently, the guy and Mr. Dalip, I can't remember if he didn't pay for the first load. But they dropped the load in front of him. I can't remember exactly what the story. And then they take the truck and they remove back the load from in front of the crusher. This is Mr. Dalip. Mr. Dalip feel that he up there, no one can bring him down, right? Everybody tried to talk against him. He tried to victimize them. So that's why the people are scared, because when they make a complaint, nothing come out of the complaint. Everything just, when people try to talk out, nobody go there to try to help these people and understand and sit with the people to understand what is going on in there. When a big official going to the back dam, everything, Mr. Dal show them that, everything is going smooth. As soon as they come out the back dam, it gone back to how it was before. Nobody could tell Mr. Dal what to do and what not to do. As I say, he feel that this back dam belongs to him and no one else. He's just using the small miners to get what he want, and then he push them one side.
Okay. Well, Ms. Kathleen, I can say to you that this is a lot of information, and surprising to know that this is happening. I guess, and you see, this is the thing we try to let the general public understand, because there's times when fingers are being pointed. And in this case, I was even there on the ground, and I heard some people say, "Oh, it's the government. It's the government." The government has nothing to do with this. The government specifically give orders, instructions, directions, and you know, the government wouldn't come there to find it comb anything. Um, they will put persons in areas to be responsible and overlook to ensure that this is being governed properly. Also, I must say that you, the people, need to take a firm stand on this. And I can tell you, there's a lot more I can say. What I can see here, what I observe on the ground, which is inhumane and so wrong, and it comes from the leadership of the association, which is the chairman himself, right? I personally were verbally attacked by him when I was there, but I pay him no mind because I'm accustomed to stuff like that, and he's no threat to me either. I can deal with people like that in my own way. So I want to say thank you for coming and share some of these information with us. I was told also that Sunday you guys will be having a massive meeting in that area as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are having a meeting at 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Thank you so much for this information. And I hope that you persons are prepared to address the issue. But I don't know if I'm going to be too personal, but is there any way that you could just give me a hint? What is the agenda of your meeting, if that is respectful of me to ask? Or you prefer it to be left until Sunday?
I prefer it to be left until Sunday.
All right. So thank you so much for this. So, Miss Kathleen, thank you so much for this information. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for highlighting some. I know these are just a few of many of what else is happening in the area, but I know these are the key. These are the key ones. So thank you so much for sharing this with me, and I'm hoping to see more coming out of this. And I am hoping that the authorities will be listening and have this being addressed as soon as possible. So I will give.
Thank you for having me.
I give my regards to you and the miners of the Rupununis Miners Association. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. So, guys, that was Miss Kathleen. She is the secretary of the. That was the secretary of the RMA, and she had some information to share. Now, I want to leave the line open for anybody that is calling in. You can call in now. Some persons want to call in to share their views. I guess it's minors as well too. So let me just wait a bit for persons to call in. Yeah, you can ask them to call back now. I saw somebody send me a message and said that somebody's trying to make contact with me. Guys, I can tell you that there is so much that is going on in there presently, and it's totally unfair. I have a lot of videos. I have some videos here where I saw the chairman he cussing people and chasing people off the land, chasing a minor. Let me share one of those video with you as well.
Yo, I tell you, this fucking money can't be disrespectful. You want no fucking body come tell me I am more just fucking come on fucking say. Here, let me tell you something. This spot been given to this man here, right? What? Broke your fucking cam down, take all your fucking thing, move the skull out, you, this spot is one. Find out. No fucking body can disable that. I disable the skull.
You have the police officer. I don't want to say
No, but don't get disrespectful. You just come. I try my utmost to deal with this man as them there, and they be getting disrespectful. Man, let me tell you something. Well, I was.
So as you can see there, right? That is the conduct of the chairman. I was told that he was chasing people off the land, apparently, and I wanted to know if this particular individual has the authority, or who empowered him with such authority, where a person have to pay him $300,000 per spot. This guy going on like he's working with lands and surveys or something. He has that power to sell land to persons, right? I also have videos. I have a whole ton of video here, guys. I have tons of video here where person that would have sent to me. But I'm hoping that on Sunday, they have a massive meeting there on Sunday in Marudi. I don't know what is the agenda. Well, I try to get that from the secretary, but I respect her views as well. So we will await the outcome of that. So I want to make it very clear here, all right? For those persons before, because I know some persons might come and will come to try to make some form of clarifications or clarification or something. But let me make it clear to you. I was on the ground there in the Murray Mountain, and I've seen what is going on the ground. I personally had a discussion with the individual who also even went as far to try, bribing me. I'm not within that category, sir. You have to know. I want to make it very clear here too, that I've worked with the Guyana Geology Mines and Commissions, and I'm hoping that the commissioner of GGMC will have this very clear. And I know that sir, that there are rules and regulations within the mining industry, and there's a lot of things that is happening in there. And first and foremost, I want to deal with your officer in there, right? Who or officers, you have an office, you have two officers that are in there on the ground that I would have seen, and the driver. At no given time that I know, right? Let me just take this call, guys. Hello? Yeah, good morning. You're one of the miners? All right. So I'm gonna put you on loudspeaker live, so you can share your part of the story and what is happening in the Mordi. All right. Yeah, sure. No problem. No problem. I respect that. I respect that. All right, guys. So I have another miner that's calling here who's going to be brief on um, his challenges in the Mordi Mountain as well. So good morning to you, sir. Could you identify yourself to the public?
Hi, good morning. My name is Leslie Caldema. I'm a miner at Morudi Mountain. I was the former assistant secretary for the Rukuni Miner Association Co-op Society.
Okay, sir. So you can go ahead, sir. Well, before you go ahead, right, quickly, because I know you have some stuff to do and so on. I was in there last Sunday, and there was some information that has been shared with me and so on. And the bottom line, everything is that the miners are being treated unfairly by the present chairman, and I have to say the chairman because in my view there isn't a functioning body in the RMA and in the Marudi. So what is your take on it, sir?
My take on it is that Mr. Dalip deliberately break up the co-op society. He deliberately engineered the breakup of the co-op society. He was empowered by people from, I would say, state agencies. They deliberately, along with GGMC, Natural Resources, deliberately break up the co-op society for him to control the project for self-interest. And two, before we enter into this venture, we, on behalf of the co-op society, we had 40 names, legal miners, that we get a mining permit from GGMC on behalf of the 40 members. Now, when we register the co-op society, when we go to receive the mining permit from GGMC, Mr. Dalip deliberately go alone and signed the mining permit alone. And what he did, he put just his surname. He didn't put no other name in front of his surname. So it could be many people, but he put his name. So he was thinking premeditatedly for scam and trick the miners into believing that we farm in a co-op society for all the people to benefit. And he had in his back, at the back of his mind, to trick the people. That is why he signed it alone.
Wow.
Since then, we go in the back dam and we start work on, and I go after them. I go about August last year. They went in about May, June. When I go there, I saw Mr. Dalip performing in a way that he doesn't want to even hear about the co-op society. Every time we did, Mr. Dalip dictatorially scrap the meeting. Instead of keep a little discussion and make any decision, the next day he change it. He deliberately tried to demonstrate that he's in control. So there's nothing we could have done to change it. Now we reported to the co-op society. The commissioner of the co-op society told us they would look into the matter. What they did in January, they sent an auditor, Mr. Severan and Sons, to do an inquiry into the constitutional workings of the Group Mine Association, the financial aspect of it, minutes and such like. Mr. Severan came and he called us out of Letem with the minutes and finances and whatsoever we had. We came and we had a discussion with Mr. Severan, which was an inquiry. It took a day and something. And in that inquiry, Mr. Severan had to give a report. Mr. Severan had to publish a report after the inquiry. And in the report, Mr. Severan mentioned that the government should make special effort to make sure that this co-op continue because of the people's livelihood that is involved. When the report came out, what happened is that the minister, instead of making special effort to see the problems, to solve the problem, they canceled the co-op. And after they canceled the co-op had no more powers. What they did, they handed over single-handedly to Mr. Dalip. Mr. Dalip, along with the REO and the regional apparatus, they came into Marudi and they kept an illegal election, which they called Mr. Dalip workers, Mr. Mackenzie workers, and most of the legal miners stayed away because they know that there's something illegal because of the previous arrangements and the documents. And they kept an election and they vote Mr. Dalip in as a chairman for something named the Rupuni Mine Association. They take out co-op society. So under that premise is what they're working the back dam from then to now.
Okay. Well, I am happy that you could bring such this information here public. And I guess you are going to be a part of that meeting on Sunday as well.
Yes, I will be. Because there's a lot of things more for you to know. This just the documental part, the legalistic part of it. I tell you there, I explain there. There's more, and the reality on the ground, the working in the back dam. it's very advantageous. What's happening is that Mr. Dalip, after he single-handedly running the project, they fetch gravel whole night, whole day for themselves. And after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then they give one to the normal persons.
Wow.
If they got people who was against him, and he see that he could buy them, which he does. He buy half of the back dam, which he promises them load without paying, diesel without paying, and such like buy rum and roast chicken and beef and these kind of things. So
let me ask you something. Let me stick up in there. Let me stick up in there, sir. I heard you mention rum. Isn't that illegal to be in the back dam? So you're saying Mr. Dalip is selling rum in there as well too?
The one drunk farm already get the speed Dalip.
Well,
goes around the street by Dalip premises.
Well, for a matter of fact, when I went there on Sunday, I was greeted with a bottle of Absolute. You know, a glass and a bottle of Absolute. That is what I was greeted with, and I turned him down because in the first place, I know even it is by law that you shouldn't have alcohol on Amerindian lands. So how that passed through the village, and now even on mining site you have alcohol. So now now you remind me of this. I was greeted with a bottle of Absolute, and I turned it down. And also, when I land there, he was also under the influence of alcohol. So I wanted to know if it's something now it's a norm with him as well.
It is a norm. It is a norm, my brother. And I'm glad you had the experience that I've been offered the first thing, Absolute. Now, he got it by the cases, and the whole place know, the whole backdam know that Dalip usually drink and behave in an autocratic manner.
Well, I saw it.
Bullyistic,
I saw it there.
Bullyistic, and many other things. Many times he pull gun on people, and enough different things.
So tell me something.
When we talk about it, the fucking people say that you want to get that thing, but these things is not normal.
So tell me something. Isn't there a permanent GGMC office in there?
It's been manipulated also.
So no, the GGMC officer don't deal with these issues.
Brother man, if I tell you, the GGMC officers be there present and seeing what this man doing and priceless. The GGMC officers tell you that they got the orders from upstairs.
Okay. All right. I'm really happy that you're bringing this out here as well, because now you're talking about the rum story. Then I remember I was greeted with a bottle of Absolute. You know, this man feel like I'm a drunkard or something, right? And I guess that is what aggravated him, because I turned him down and I said, in the first place, number one, I don't believe it is right that you should be having alcohol on this site or in this backdam, and two, I don't drink rum, right? I'm not bought with rum or anything of whatsoever, right? So I'm glad that you highlight this publicly as well, sir.
It's a norm. It's a norm in Morudi that the chairman's premises is always got a group, a thugs. He and his thugs drinking and roasting. So remember that he manipulated his gold mine, so he's working a lot of gold. So at the back of his mind, he tells himself that once he continue doing the same thing by bribing the thugs to be on the side with him, where he can bribe them with gravel, rum, diesel, whatsoever is it. God, enough of them and got nothing. So this is why he bribed them for there with them. So this is how he manipulated the whole back down out of the lawful process.
Okay.
So what I want, why want to for public to know, there's only one way Morudi can run. A big place like Morudi cannot run without a rule book. We have a constitution for the Morudi project. We have a mines permit for the Morudi project under a lawful basis. But what happened? The Ministry of Labor canceled the co-op. And once the co-op canceled, it means that it failed to exist lawfully. So they took that now and said, well, look, the co-op break up, give it to Dalip, or let them form an organization out of the co-op, not naming it the co-op, and work the same mines permit that was attained through the 40 legal miners join the co-op.
But here's something, sir. Here's something. I want to share this with you. Yes, we understand under Section 8801 of the Act, right? Where the co-op supposed to be managed. But I want to say this to you, and persons need to do this. It doesn't mean that because you don't have a registered co-op that the association cannot be properly managed. You can still have an executive governing executive body being managed in the right way. I feel based on the findings, the co-op wasn't only cancelled because of cancelling sake or to give Mr. Dalip power. The co-op, let me.
Hello?
Yes, the co-op was actually cancelled because of Mr. Dalip and his attitude. That is what was said to me. Right? So the power lies within your hands and the small miner's hand to make that change. You understand? Yeah, somebody is trying to ring me and
It's within
distract.
the people who empowers Mr. Talib, like GGMC, the minister, and the dogs.
Sir, I
So
can tell
most
you
of the people,
I can
they
tell you
see
this.
corruption.
I can tell you this.
Most of the people see.
I can tell you this. I can't speak on behalf of GGMC because I don't know. But I know personally the government of Guyana is not in any part of this in empowering Mr. Dalip. I can tell you this personally because even it was from the government of Guyana that recently instructed Mr. Dalip to remove all of the Brazilian that he put in there because the government wasn't aware of it. Yes, probably there were persons who were hiding it, but the government, central government itself, were not aware of this. It's only when central government itself understand that this happened when I was in there last week, is then the instructions were given immediately to remove all Brazilians. Right? I can tell you this here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, like you rightly said, there's a lot of things that government is not aware of. There's a lot of things that's being hidden. Even the issue that the young man that is being assaulted by what in the presence, right? In the presence of Mr. Daladier, the government wasn't aware of this. You understand? So that is why we are discussing this here right now, and I'm glad that you highlighting this, and I can guarantee you that they will have some strong measures being put in place and a decision would have to be made. But what I have to let you know that the government will not at no time intervene. They will allow a democratic process to take course, and that means that people like yourself and the other legal miners there have to make that decision. The government wouldn't come and say, all right, Mr. Dalip, move, because the government does not operate like that. It believes in democracy, and this is why you as a miner who are suffering by the hands of Mr. Dalip, you guys need to make that change in there. And the government will act on it after. All right?
Yeah.
So y'all need to.
Different factions.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. But here what happened?
The REO is trying its best to do some work to help me there, but the REO has to take some of the blame because the election
I can.
is who empowered Mr. Dalip to do wrong things, and now it's too overbearing that he can't take it no more.
Well, I still again, right? What I'm trying to say to you, I wouldn't put myself in a position to say that or to debunk what you're saying or to accuse the RU in any way. We all in somewhere made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes in administration, right? Meaning in empowering people with certain powers to do things. And like you rightly said, even if the REO would have made such a mistake, I know for sure though that the REO is not in support of the crap that Mr. Dalip is doing in there. So, and then the REO again would not intervene, right? So that is why now you, the people, have the power in your hands, right? You, the people, have the power in your hands to make that change. And I guarantee you that the REO will act on it. But it all depends on you now, the people.
Yeah, we were willing to work with the REO to see the right thing happen. And
You see, here's something. I'm not taking sides here, right? I'm not taking sides here. Excuse me. I want you to understand this. Anybody would try to have, let's put it this way. It's like if I have the confidence in you, right? I have the confidence in you that you can take the RMA forward, and I have the power to put you there, right? Remember, I'm the ex officio of the government in this region, right? So I can make certain calls and certain decisions. So I'm going to say, look, I'm going to make you the chairman. I'm going to have the people come together and help me to put you as the chairman, right? Because I have the confidence in you. But then you know, when you realize that happen now, and you go and you become the chairman, you become powerful because you might have a little money now, you have enough gold and this. So I guess probably this is what happens now, right? Because the RO probably entrusted him and give him the opportunity to work for the interests of the people, but he's not seen that. You understand? So now, yes, probably, yes, he make a mistake, and and it's a genuine mistake we all will make, right? So what I'm saying here in the bottom line of this now, the power is within your hand, you the people, and if you want to have changes, if you want to discontinue the suffering of yourself and your fellow miners, you guys have to make that decision. Again, the REO and the government of Guyana will not intervene. They will allow a democratic process to take its course. And that's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to make the change. And I'm going to say there publicly, based on what you've said to me, based on what the secretary would have said to me, and based on my observation on the ground, that individual, that chairman, is no good for the people of the Rupununi Miners Association. Right? You can't have a people that are assaulting people, taking advantage of people, discriminating people. And I saw somebody made a comment here, some young lady was raped and all these things, you know. I mean, there's allegedly rape. I'm not sure, but these are all the things that are coming up, right? Now, how can you lead an association, and this is the way, or this is the money you're treating people? People like yourself are going in there to earn an honest dollar to feed your families, and that is the reason why the government allow the Marudi Mountain to go into operation so that everybody can gain a living. This is not a one-man thing. When I go on the ground there, everything people telling me, Dalip, Dalip, Dalip. Yeah, I had meeting. No, Dalip said this. Dalip said that. Dalip has the books for the secretary. This is a one-man show. This is a dictatorship. You understand? And you need to put an end to that.
Dalip sells a story that Morori is his place.
Well, it's not.
He's controlling it. The government gave it to him. That is what he's telling everybody.
Oh, well, let us see how that unfolds on Sunday. Let us see how that unfolds on Sunday. Because I'm pretty much sure that that's not true. Because if it was so, he would not have been given that if it was so, it would not have been given that specific instructions to remove those Brazilians from out of there. They have to be removed. You understand? Because
the story selling for self-image.
Exactly.
So I just want you to look about
exactly.
self-image, right?
Exactly.
And bigger than that, look, when we start, our initial start is on a co-op society that is a multi-faceted co-op society. Morudi is only one aspect of the co-op. We have wood, stone, sand, all covered under this co-op society. And when a man who never make a child in this region, I mean, like we who made, and we see this thing was to this region is the Rupununi Mine Association Co-op Society that covers all the villages in the Rupununi. That a normal person from a village who sees wood in his area outside of the reservation, he could have come and joined the co-op. The co-op could have facilitated him. He could have gone start cutting this wood and start making a life for himself. Mr. Dalip break up all these things just for self-interest. He take away a gem from the Rupununi, the co-op society, for self-interest for the man. This is the big story you want to get at. This thing here, this guapo, we had to cover from Urumparo to Constrip. The entire region. And when you see a markup break it up willingly and happily for self-interest, then you could tell what mind the man got.
That's true. I agree with you.
What mind he got? What future he thinking for this region and the people of this region? Right? This thing is not me, you when we say on personally, brother. I got enough other things to ventilate to you that take place from the time we start this thing to now. This thing is terrible, a one-sided thing that some of we afraid of the we speak. We already been threatened many times that we gonna get put out the back dam or we gonna get left the region and all these kind of things. All we I did 32 years now in this region. So Mr. Dalip tells a story for self-image that Morudi is his own. The government gave him to run. How do you think he ended up with all the Brazilians then? The Brazilians come look for opportunity that they can assist small people. We who speak Portuguese, we connect to these people faster than any other body because we can speak to them. So what happened is that when the people come to we and they ask me, what is the arrangement here and how they can be involved? We would try our best to show them, look, you can't come and work here. But if you want to help me financially to get a bigger machine and what's not, I can repay you such way. You know what Mr. Dalip doing? Eventually, Mr. Dalip is going to get these people sent to call them, holistically sent and call them. I got many dogs. And when he tell them his side of the story, you know what he tell them? I run in this place. Nobody can come here and work without me. So if you want to work, you have to come and speak to me. Eventually, he manipulate the people in pocket. And right now, on Sunday or Saturday when you come, you will hear how much of them got on the edge for their money and the investment and the credit with the credit and all these kind of things.
Brother, I really appreciate these information that you're making public, and I want the world to see, and that's why I'm advocating on the government's behalf that the government has nothing to do with that, and I want persons to know, and I want you to know, especially share it with the others. Mr. Dalip is not speaking or working on the government's behalf. The government would not get involved in any sort of wrongdoings, especially that are not in the best interest of the people. And I know that is the picture that I saw there. That is what he's portraying out there, that he is speaking and he's representing on behalf of the government. And I'm going to say this to you once again, and for those who are listening, that Mr. Dalip is not representing on no government's behalf. None. So when he pick up his phone, but he called this body and the body, he has nobody to call. None. All right? So you people need to come together and make a strong decision, make a rash decision, you understand? And have the changes. Because it is your livelihood that are at stake here. Because think about it. If I'm the last village that you have to pass through, which is Aishalton, and you're not delivering based on your promises, and if I choose to block my road, you can't pass through my village anymore. You understand? And then who would suffer?
Yeah.
You and all the miners. And so far, the RMA have not delivered on their promises to these villages, especially to Aishalton. And I understand it's not you to blame. It's based on what I've seen on the ground. You can't deliver if you don't have anything to give.
Yeah.
You understand? Now you have to suffer because of one man who is punishing you. You understand? So this has to be a decision that has to be made immediately, because these villages need to benefit from it as well. We can't continue to be doing the people that. And one man is the cost of everything. So I want to see that the people now allow one man to be a dictator and continue to take advantage of them. Because trust me, if I was a miner in there, I would have been equivalent to that 40 miner against Dalip. Some, there's a monkey know which limb to jump on. That's Dalip. That's Dalip there, right? And you know why some people not doing anything? Because of the fear that he would have driven in them in two ways. One, he feel that he alone got excavate and equipment and everything, and two, he tells himself that he keep telling the people that the government put him there. But no, none out of the two is accurate. One, the government didn't put him there, and two, not he alone have equipment. There are many persons out there who would be willing to come and serve the people there in a fair manner as well.
Mr. Aroma, many such sittings we had in the back down. Where I got a friend right that said, reminding me, hey, look, Mr. Denelson come and said, Mr. Dalip is in charge. Mr. Jimmy Reese, Assistant Commissioner, came in there in the meeting and said, Mr. Dalip is in charge. Vikram told me many times, personally, myself, Dalip is in charge. Right? So that is what gave Dalip the power to beat his chest in the back dam, at the drinking bars in Letem, on the shops in Aishaltan, and says, he is me, Dalip is the government. I want to understand the magnitude of manipulation with this thing there.
And how long was that? How long was that?
How long is that?
Yeah, how long did that those?
He's doing all the time.
No, when these things were said to you guys.
Even the two shows in Aishaltan, Dalip has these people covered, brother. That when he pull up, so no matter what they say about him, I don't know ways to do, ways give them all this dark or what. But the two shows in Aishaltan, the two shows you check it. Michael Thomas never speak nothing bad about Dalip. Pull us from Cameroonian person, and even if you read this thing, maybe he might see what I telling you. After finish reading it, 2 weeks after, he went and gave credit to the election that Dalip was elected at the J1. When I saw that, I said, what? So, Dalip, somehow, I don't know.
Well, brother, what I'm going to say to you is that come Sunday, you guys need to make a firm decision. Right? And again, I'm going to say to you that the government is in by no way in support of the nonsense that he's doing or doing to the people. It all depends on you now to make that change that you want to see in there.
Yeah, well, we're planning to go in there. We came back from Sibroni last night. We were on a 4-day journey, been and look up piece of land aside, so we had to come back in a hurry just to catch the meeting in the back dam, so make special effort to be there.
All
so
right.
we will be leaving here this afternoon or in the morning to go to.
No problem, sir. So I will definitely give you a call after the program and we can have some in-depth discussion. All right, sir. So thank you for coming in.
Thanks. You're welcome.
So, guys, you see that's what is going on there. A lot of people going in and use the name of the government. Now, imagine I went in there to do my PR work based on requests by some miners and so on. This man even come up with a thing telling people, but I say, how Jack Dio send me. Now I travel to do my work based on request. You understand? And this guy naturally isn't. Something is definitely wrong with this guy. But what I'm saying, the people need to make a strong decision. He continues to use the name of the government to say that the government tell him this and tell him that, and it doesn't look good. The people are suffering by the hands of this individual, and that needs to be addressed very early. But the people is the one who have to fix it. And like I would have said to the caller there, the government wouldn't go in there and said you have to move. The government believe in democratic process. You understand? They believe in democracy. And the people have to make that choice. They cannot continue to suffer by the hands of this individual. So, excuse me, guys. I have a cold trying to get rid of. but I'm okay. So, guys, I guess this is it for this morning. There's some persons who were trying to contact me, but I have to run. I have some stuff to do as well. I have to make preparations, and I will definitely be keeping you update. And also on Sunday, I will plan to go live from the location as well because I will be traveling in there. So I will plan to go live. They do have internet in there, so persons can have a view of what is happening on the ground. So, with this being said, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in this morning, and I do hope that you enjoy the program. Share the program as you come off the live still, so persons can be aware. So, do have a blessed Friday and a rest of the weekend. Happy Diwali to my Hindu brothers and sisters, and I do hope that somebody will invite me to get some parasad and some seven curry and so on. So do have a blessed day, guys. Do have a blessed weekend, and see you until next week.
We are a peaceful people. Struggle is with struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one caress, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow and never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere. Make no mistake, 'cause we ain't giving up no mountain, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.